I'm Gloria Moraga. This is the Political Woman Podcast, and this is Hope Hicks. Hope Hicks, former top aide in the Trump White House. Now, she held various jobs for the Trump Organization in New York. At the White House, she worked her way up to communications director. In fact, Trump was so taken with Hope Hicks, he set up her office right outside of his. Hope Hicks took the stand during the second week of testimony in Trump's trial in New York for allegedly falsifying business records and allegedly committing election fraud while allegedly paying off a porn star. But really, it is all about falsifying business records and election fraud. Now, what was the point of bringing in Hope Hicks to testify? Did it help or hurt Trump? I'm Gloria Moraga. This is the Political Woman Podcast. Please subscribe. So Hope Hicks, Donald Trump's 2016 campaign press secretary, broke into tears on Friday while testifying in the ex-president's New York criminal trial. Trump, as you know, is charged with 32 felonies for allegedly falsifying business records, committing business fraud, committing election fraud, all the while paying hush money to a porn star that he had sex with at a golf tournament, according to her story. Hicks was on the stand for hours answering the prosecution's questions, but she broke down when her ex-boss's attorney began his questions. Hicks and Trump, once so close, had a parting of ways when Hicks testified before the January 6th committee on Capitol Hill. I'll have more on that toward the end of the podcast. Now, Hicks, who according to reports was a skittish figure in Judge Juan Merchan's courtroom, and she is considered a key prosecution witness. Again, why call her? What could she offer? Prosecution wanted her to describe what happened inside the Trump campaign after the Access Hollywood tape was made public. And you know the tape. And if you don't, I'm going to play it for you. The whole thing. The judge ruled that the jury cannot hear the tape. But because it is important to the case, important to determine Trump's motive for doing all of this, the jury has been given a transcript of the tape. Now, as I said, the reason the tape is important, it goes to motive. What was Trump's motive in the first place for paying off the porn star when he did? For allegedly having his fixer, Michael Cohen, pay off the porn star, for allegedly falsifying business records. What they did was they paid Cohen for legal services. But really, they were paying him back because he took out a loan on his house to pay off the porn star. And they called it a bonus. So they falsified those records, allegedly. All right, I want to warn you, there is graphic trash talk in this tape. It's Trump talking trash about women, which goes to show how little he regards women. And it seems to be a thread that runs through MAGA, and I'm not going to get off on tangent. Here's the tape.
You know, and
she used to be great. She's still very beautiful.
I moved on her, actually. You know, she was down in Palm Beach. I moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it.
Whoa.
I did try and fuck her. She was married.
That's huge news there.
No, Nancy.
Yeah.
No, this was marriages. And I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where they have some nice furniture. I took her out furniture. I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there. And she was married. Then all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. She's totally changed her look.
Your girl's hot as shit. In the purple.
Whoa!
Yes!
Whoa!
Yes, the Donald has scored!
Whoa!
Oh, my man! Wait, you gotta look at me when you get out. You're like,
sets this up.
That is very
you give me the thumbs
Look
up.
at you. You are a
You gotta put the thumbs up. You gotta get the thumbs up.
Can't be too happy.
else off first?
Yeah, let me.
It's very
You
funny.
gotta give me the thumbs up.
You and I will walk there.
Oh my God.
Maybe it's a different one.
Better not be the publicist. No, it's her.
Yeah, that's her, with the gold. I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything.
Look at those legs. All I can see is the legs.
No, it looks good.
Now, Hicks described Trump campaign staffers' panic. Did I pop my P? It was panic with a big P when that recording was made public. Trump was bragging about groping women and other things. She described the sentiment among the entire campaign staff as this was a crisis for his presidential bid. Now, from a legal standpoint, according to all the reports I've read, here are some of the things that Hicks' testimony did. She placed Trump squarely at the center of his campaign media strategy, telling jurors we were all just following his lead. And anyone who's ever talked about Trump, known Trump, testified about Trump, he's a micromanager. He's always right in there. It's his idea. It's what he wants to do. That's his history. And honestly, this testimony after 2 weeks of this trial, legal experts say this is a turning point because Hicks is the first Trump staffer with intimate knowledge of Trump's campaign. The first one to testify about his alleged misconduct inside the campaign, which is important because falsifying business records is a misdemeanor unless it's to further another crime, and the other crime was election interference. So her time on the stand marks a shift. After days of hearing from the sleazy tabloid editors and owner, secret deals to stifle or sell celebrity gossip, the jury was led through the whirlwind of the 2016 presidential campaign, which led directly to the Oval Office. Now, I'll just say here personally, I hate these sleazeballs. They have so sullied our White House and our politics. I mean, yeah, it was always a little dirty in some administrations, like the Nixon administration, like even the Johnson administration, with God knows what kind of deals going on over Vietnam. But Trump has taken it to new lows, and these people that follow him blindly like sheep. All right, back to the story. Prosecutors with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office wanted Hicks to show the jury how worried the 2016 Trump campaign was about negative stories regarding Trump and women. And there were a lot of them. I did a podcast on this a while back. All the women who came out of the woodwork after the whole Access Hollywood tape hit. Prosecutors say that the Trump of the women, and the way he treats women, so that was why he wanted to pay the hush money, is this is a key element in his alleged motive. And I see that, you see it very clearly. So that's what the prosecution wanted to do. And it seems like they accomplished that goal after reading the transcripts and reading the stories about Hicks. But through this all, she was, according to people inside the courtroom, respectful and complimentary of Trump. She doesn't seem to be disgusted by him or seem to be turning on him. Maybe she wants a job in the next administration. And, that was made all the clearer when she testified about Trump fixer Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen, yes, whom I like because he goes after Trump, because he's honest about Trump, because he calls it the way he sees it. instead of like all these other Republicans and this woman and all these other people who just fawn over him, even after they know all the things he's done, even after they see how he's treated women. So she went after Cohen a couple of times, and that helps the defense. And she also seemed to say that Trump was concerned about his wife finding out about all this stuff. And so that is a plus for Trump, because he's trying to use that wife defense that, oh, I did this because I'm such a good family man and I just didn't want my wife to know. Oh, come on. Grow up, everybody. She knows everything. She knows everything about him. And she stays with him for the money, because she re-signs her prenup every time there's a scandal or every time something happens. He wants to run for office again because he's got all of these crimes filed against him. So she renegotiates her prenup, or otherwise I'm going to walk. I'd like to take a look at that thing, the prenup. All right, so yeah, she attacked Cohen a couple of times, but one of the times she kind of criticized Michael Cohen did not help Trump at all, because Trump has tried to say that Cohen paid the porn star out of the goodness of his heart. And she was asked by the prosecution, was it like Michael Cohen to make a $130,000 payment out of the kindness of his heart? And Hicks replied, I would say that would be out of character for Michael. I don't know Michael to be an especially charitable person or selfless person. And then she said, he was the kind of person, this is a quote, who seeks credit. Another point, Hicks said that Cohen liked to refer to himself as fixer. But yet she said in her experience, he fixed things only because he broke it first. Woof. See, I mean, that alone, that testimony right there, you could tell I'm on Trump's side, not on Michael Cohen's side. It's just clear. It's clear as crystal. So, for prosecutors, the main purpose of Hicks' testimony seemed to be showing that Trump and his campaign were very concerned about allegations made against him by women. When it came to Daniels, now that Daniels story surfaced while Trump was already in the White House. Hicks said that Trump told her, quote, it was better to be dealing with it now, and it would have been bad to have the story come out before the election. Hint, hint. Uh-huh. Yeah, it didn't come out before the election because he paid her off. Yeah. So he's saying, even though he says, oh, Michael did it on his own, he's saying that. So if Michael's such a good friend of yours, why did you turn on him? That casts doubt on Trump suggesting that Cohen paid the money. Depends on if the jury likes her, if they're going to believe everything she said. I don't know. Beautiful women, smart, and they follow this guy, and they like this guy. And I don't get it. I don't understand it. So that was another win for the prosecution. Now, one of Trump's excuses is that he did this not to win the election, but to keep his wife from knowing. And Hicks kind of helped with that. But I've already talked about Melania enough. I'm not even going to get into it. So I said earlier that Trump and Hicks had a parting of ways after she testified before the January 6th committee. Under oath, she recounted to lawmakers how in the days after the 2020 election, she was one of the few people in Trump's circle to tell him there probably had not been fraud on the scale that would have helped Trump, that would have affected the outcome. And she urged him to accept his loss and instead focus on his legacy. But Trump, she testified before the committee, said something along the lines of, quote, nobody will care about my legacy if I lose, so that won't matter. The only thing that matters is winning. Not my wife, not my kids, Not my friends, Michael Cohen. Not all the friends who've turned on him. Not all the lawyers he's gotten in trouble. The only thing that matters is winning. Which tells all of us a lot. The country doesn't matter. Democracy doesn't matter. The Republican Party, which is over and done with, doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is winning. I'm Gloria Moraga. This is the Political Woman Podcast. Hope Hicks, did she help Trump or did she hurt him? You decide. We'll know more when they do the closing arguments in this case. We'll see how much they focus on what Hope Hicks had to tell all of us. And mostly, importantly, the jury. Please subscribe. Please follow me. Please vote. Somebody posted on one of my accounts today, I don't like Joe Biden. I wish we had other choices. And I'm going to answer them back and say this is not about a man, about which man you like best. This election is about democracy. This election is about our country. And we need to vote. We need to vote for Joe Biden. I'm Gloria Moraga, Political Woman. Vote and be safe.